Hey peeps, Sir Bradley here. We here at Deadpan Studio are presenting a show called BSF, and we would like to take the time to inform our audience that you will most definitely hear vulgarities such as balls, motherfucker, dick, jack, and whore, and possibly some stories of anal leakage. So please enjoy the show.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Real tired.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fucking terrific.
Still real tired. No, I'm just very tired.
Yeah, I get that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to BSF, where the F stands for facts and the BS stands for
Bullshit.
Well, she's going straight to the point, isn't she?
Yeah.
Just not going with the tip, just going balls deep.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
think.
it be like that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a rough week.
I think I have heat stroke for 2 days.
Well, I said before we started recording that the first week back from vacation is always the roughest. I believe.
Yeah. At least you
Absolutely.
fucking have AC and you had Monday off. I just went straight into the fucking 90s, sweating my ass off, and now I feel really bad.
I grew up in that, so
Yeah,
I understand.
Getting
Getting a little tired of that swamp ass, huh?
Lord have mercy.
And humidities.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Humidities.
Fuck.
Yeah. As always, I am one of your hosts.
Oh, yeah,
the
hi.
Matt.
Sir Bradley.
And I'm Kat. Yeah, we didn't do that yet. Hello.
No, not yet.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Hello,
I
peeps.
just ask that every time.
Yeah, I double checked.
Okay.
You know,
I see a light. That's good.
Right
Oh.
now it's at 2 minutes and 23 seconds, so we're good.
All right. Yeah.
And it's still counting.
Good.
Yeah. Tonight, what are we doing tonight? We are, working on...
Ooh, conspiracy theories. Were you going to do the same thing? I did it first.
Nice. I could have started with the opening to X-Files or something, but I think
Yeah,
that would have
that
set it. That might
Is
have
that
set a
what I
bad
did, or
precedent,
did
though.
I?
Because then I don't think any of us are doing anything alien connected, so I think that people would have been sorely disappointed if we used that.
Well, yeah. No. Well,
Well, maybe not.
is that the opening sound for X-Files, or it's something?
I don't remember. It's
Something
been
kind of eerie.
It's like an actual sound from something that exists out in the world. I just don't know what it is right now.
It has been since the original run of the show of 10 seasons or 9 seasons, however long it was, that I've seen that show.
I've never actually watched any of it, but it's like I appreciate it exists.
Mulder and Scully.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the show. We're going to cover conspiracy theories tonight, as in not just the entire swath of conspiracy theories, but our own personal favorites. And I'll actually go into a little bit of what they are and why people like to believe in them.
Is it really super personal favorites? Or just...
Well, the one that you picked is fairly interesting. So.
Well, it is interesting, and it is...
And the one I picked isn't?
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about yet.
She had her headphones in when you were telling me. So.
I was still doing research. Like I said, it's been a rough week.
No problem. So anyway, if you would like to reach around us...
Fucking love that.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Then, of course, we have 3 different ways. You can reach us through deadpanbsf@gmail.com, deadpanstudio18@gmail.com. We also have our website. That's part number 2 that you can reach us, deadpan-studio.com. But you can also reach us on our Twitter
Okay, I was like, you never plug the socials.
and Facebook. Yeah, I know. I'm
And
doing that.
we have good reason to tonight, don't we?
Yes. Look,
What?
we have not gotten any emails yet. We are 2 shows in.
You
and we
fucking pricks. Let us know.
And we haven't gotten a bit. We've got 1 review on iTunes, but we haven't got feedback. But you've got 100. At this point, we're hundreds of listeners. Okay, subscribers. So,
yeah, except that guy except whoever we lost from Australia last time.
you never know. And, they used to say a lot of Australians are criminals. Maybe went to prison.
Okay, now we
Jeez.
definitely lost him.
Definitely fucking gone now.
Just no more Australian subscribers for us ever because.
I bet it was Mick Dundee.
Probably. That's a knife.
Okay.
I love Mick Dundee.
I do too.
Last time I said we lost that subscriber because you did a bad Australian accent, and you fucking did it again after insulting them.
I'll make sure he stays gone.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We appreciate all international listeners.
We do.
Yes.
At least a single listener in the UK. We appreciate you, and of course in Canada and every other country that you're in. Thank you.
I bet that's Noel Gallagher.
No, I doubt that.
No.
The fact that we actually said something nice about his brother, he might have unsubscribed. You don't know.
I didn't say anything nice about Liam.
He didn't really say anything.
I didn't say much about Liam.
Oh, okay. I was like, who's that?
Anyway,
Okay.
here I have a little bit of incentive. I thought of it today.
Incentive for what?
The
What are we
first
doing?
person to email us with a comment or just a criticism, but it actually has to be a sound criticism or response.
You can't just be like thumbs up emoji and great job, lady.
Or you suck,
you
or
guys,
anything.
You guys suck. Yeah, that doesn't
Give
count.
us
Frowny face, sad face.
Yeah. Give us something,
If
because
if you tell us we're good, tell us why. If we suck, tell us why.
and I'll tell you what,
Coherent sentences.
we'll do two things for you, whether it's good or bad
For you or to them?
for them.
Oh, okay.
Apparently. Okay.
Only if it's bad. No.
Okay. What?
Okay.
Is for
Yeah, okay. Two
is it?
things. First, we will take that email, that first one we receive. We'll check the timestamp, and we'll print it out, and we
What do
will
you mean
frame
check
it.
this? Wait.
Like when you receive an email, it'll show the time that you receive it.
Okay. Wait. Why are we gonna frame the?
No. For
He's getting
posterity.
to
Wouldn't we
it.
just
He's getting
read
to
it?
He's getting
I'll
to
get
it.
On the.
We will frame it,
Oh, yeah.
and then I will personally get you a Deadpan Studio T-shirt.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are you going with this? Because the first I've heard of this in 2 weeks.
Well, I thought of it today.
We just
He said something to me today, and about our first criticism that was said to him, not through our emails.
Oh, so okay. So we're doing. If y'all actually say something to us, you can get some free merch. Is what you're basically.
Yes, the first person.
Okay,
and if it's a good one,
Okay.
don't just be like you suck or y'all awesome, or it has to be something. Give us something that we
Like at least half a paragraph
of a
of
feedback.
something.
yeah, and
If you're unsure about your spelling, just use Google. That's what I do.
yeah. So yeah, we'll frame it, print it out, frame it, and we will give you a Deadpan Studio T-shirt. You just have to give us the size. So
Well, we would,
and according
like,
to
contact
T-shirt
them,
size
obviously.
does matter
Okay, I get the shirt, but why are we framing their email?
because it's the first one.
it's an incentive.
Like
Yeah,
the
it's
first
Kind of
dollar,
like the first dollar for a business.
Business. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you never know what if you like us or even if you don't like us. Third part, I just thought of it.
Well, what if
What if-
the first emailer hates us so much that they would just burn the T-shirt with the second person?
That's a
Get it?
prerogative.
No, we ain't gonna spend
But-
that money if you're gonna burn it.
What we might possibly
Wash your car with it.
We might possibly, if you're interested, possibly have them as a guest on here.
Okay, maybe,
They have to
maybe,
pass a psych test.
maybe.
Yeah, they have to pass a psych test.
No, we have to talk to them before we hit record, like just in case.
There's only one
You're, like,
failed
fucking
psych
crazy.
test allowed, and that's me.
No, there's.
So
Okay,
anyway,
maybe.
I hope the listeners out there, please, we're taking this actually kind of seriously. We would love the criticism or the praise. We do take them, we do take them seriously. The
No.
criticism that we got, we're taking. We're actually going to. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go listen to what they were talking about and see if I can actually hear it because I'm the one that does the editing and maybe some of it's
It's
my
not
editing
about
job.
me because I don't. I'm just me.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick a few random ones, just see if I can, random episodes, see if I can.
You're not even
Here.
saying what it is, so people are like, we don't care.
No, I don't want to call that.
Are we
person
gonna
out.
get-
So
Into
yeah, we're getting there.
conspiracies.
Yeah, but we had to
conspiracies.
cover that at least. So,
Okay,
but of course,
we're still recording.
good or bad.
Yeah, seeing
Still
as how,
recording, right?
seeing as how is that we actually surpassed the 25 subscribers that was our goal
Yeah,
initially. Like, oh wow, this is growing significantly more than
we
what
thought it
I
would.
ever imagined.
Yeah.
So why
I
not
haven't
try to
checked
make
it since
something of
before.
it?
I haven't checked the number since before vacation. But before we get into the topic, again, whether you liked us or don't like us or whatever, you can find us in a few different ways to stream or download. We've got iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, as well as Podbean, which is an app as well as a website, and our address is deadpanstudio.podbean.com. Just look for that nifty little black and white logo.
And also, one more time, how about that email address?
Yes, deadpanbsf@gmail.com or deadpanstudio18@gmail.com. Just make sure that if you're going to criticize, make sure you tell if it's going to be Soaking Nostalgia or BSF or in the future
Or both.
anything like that, or just something like that. Just tell us what you like, don't like, and just make sure you're specific on where it's applied to. All right.
So we're not just sitting here like, what are they even fucking talking about?
That's right.
If we don't know, we can't change it.
Yep.
And for those that want to mention something about Sir Bradley, you spell that K-A-T.
Hey.
I gave him the finger.
Hey,
I'm not
hey.
even sure what's happening right
He
now.
just called himself a woman.
You are wearing a pink shirt today.
Oh, is
It's
it
a
pink? I
pink
couldn't tell.
MTV shirt.
It's a
Yeah.
cool shirt, though, but I couldn't tell what color it
It's a
was.
fucking cool shirt.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what color do you think?
I thought it was white.
White.
Thought it was white.
Yeah.
This boy right here is colorblind, but it is in the weirdest fucking way.
Yeah.
Okay?
My
My
dad
dad.
covered this at one
Most
point.
men are colorblind in some
It's more
capacity.
like a salmon color, so it's very light pink.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Anyways, so my dad is colorblind.
Uh-huh.
But his thing is like if there's like a blend of colors, like a blue-green or something, he
Right.
can only one color is like dominant to him. But he can see it. Your blindness it's so weird. It's like okay,
I'll explain it.
Well, okay, here's an example. Like a few months ago, I was wearing two shades of blue lipstick. I was doing like an ombre thing. I had like a dark one and a light one.
Ombre.
Because I'm not going to wear the light one by itself because it doesn't look good. But the ombre was cool.
Uh-huh.
So like all day I'm going around like, oh, I got blue ombre lips. Oh, they're so cool. And apparently it was like a baby blue, the outer part. You thought it was pink, so you thought had blue and pink on all day. So it's weird. Like you can
Okay.
explain
so
it. You can like see
I can
colors,
see
but
every color of the spectrum.
that
But for some reason, the
You
wiring,
think,
no, I can literally see every color in the spectrum. My brain, on the other hand, isn't wired to tell me what it is.
but
as in
baby blue and baby pink.
Like a red,
Too
you
much
think
bong
they're the
resin, huh?
opposite.
yeah, like a red and a dark brown. I can see the colors, but my brain says, I'm not going to tell you which one's which. Your shirt. I could see there was a hue in it, but I thought maybe it was an off-white. I did not know it was pink.
Yeah, it's
but
like
I could
a
see the
salmon
color.
kind of
I can
pink.
Straight up
see
pink.
it. Yeah. Now that you say it's pink, now it's like obvious. Well, I'll be damned. You know?
Yeah, but like if you're not told, and I was,
Yeah.
it's so weird.
I know.
Every time we delve further into it, I'm like, I don't understand your type of colorblindness.
If I could understand it, I would have had it corrected. So
I don't think you can. I think it's part your eyes and part your brain.
Hey,
like
hey,
you
hey,
have to.
I'm a
it's-
believer.
What?
I believe that anything can happen.
And then I saw her face.
That's where I was going. Nice one. All right, so conspiracy theories. What are they? Anybody? I've got an official definition from Merriam-Webster.
Oh, I was just sitting and waiting for
I just wait for you to say it. I don't.
The Merriam-Webster's dictionary says it's actually a political ideology which says that it's a theory that explains an event or set of circumstances as the result of a secret plot by usually powerful conspirators. In a nutshell, secret shit be happening by powerful people and won't tell nobody.
Yes.
Oh, please don't hate
Yeah.
me for the way I said that. I do have some examples of some of the most popular conspiracies out there, which I don't think that any of us are actually going to cover them, which is great because then they can go check out and have probably heard of most of these, but the ones we're covering I think is neat because then we're providing new information that they may not have heard.
I did get suggested a couple of conspiracies to look into, and there was a couple that I considered.
I can see one on here that you might have. The number 3 on my list.
The third one?
Yeah. Let's see, I'll go through them. I've got a few here. First and foremost, that September 11th was an inside job by the U.S. Another one, the moon landing was a hoax. Did you know that?
That's a huge one.
Yeah.
Just like
That's Spielberg's work right there, baby. It's common knowledge.
Here's the one that we thought, or at least I thought that you would be interested in, was that Paul McCartney actually died back in the 60s and was replaced by a clone. So Sir Paul McCartney today is actually his clone.
Or a body double.
Actually, there's I don't know if it's conspiracy theories or what it is exactly, but I remember a long time ago when I was still in high school, I had heard this website is Tom Petty is Dead. And they had...
I remember that.
There's a lot of such and such celebrities
me off
dead.
so bad, but
as I'm sure Paul McCartney fans are pissed about this.
They kind of all had some of the similar stories as Tom did, but there were stories about McCartney and Bob Dylan and a few other, you know, famous musicians from way back when.
There's ones of, like...
It's because so many of them were into drugs. I mean, you name the drug.
Who is... Okay, I'm going to get the names wrong. There's Biggie.
Big E.
He's dead, right?
Biggie Smalls.
Yes.
Tupac.
Biggie's. Yeah.
Biggie and Tupac. They're still alive making records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the names. There's like a theory that this one rapper faked his death.
Yeah.
So he'd come back as a different rapper and do like things differently, do a slightly different style without like changing it up.
Yeah, Tupac came back as Eminem.
That's not the one.
Used a lot of bleach.
Yeah.
I just remembered that one.
He had that Michael Jackson disease.
Yeah. Let's see.
JFK's and Martin Luther King's assassinations were inside jobs.
Illuminati.
Yeah, Roswell, the Roswell crash and Roswell UFO crash. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
You know the Illuminati. You know
that was a cover up.
I know they're probably not doing it because of the Illuminati, but if celebrities would stop putting like triangles on their like album covers and on their stages and stuff, it would die down a little bit.
Yeah, because I remember this.
I think they think it's funny sometimes.
Lady Gaga's Super Bowl performance. There's like, oh my gosh, there's Illuminati symbolism everywhere.
Well, they keep fucking doing the thing with their hands and they're like, I'm like,
I heard the same thing with Beyonce.
Yeah, it's called performance art.
Yeah, like they all keep doing this and
Illuminati, New World Order, Bilderberg Group, which a Bilderberg Group is actually a real thing. Is you just don't know what's being said in there. Now, the Bilderbergs, what they are is just a group of rich, elite, powerful people that meet in a location.
That was one that was recommended to me.
Yeah. Bilderberg.
And I considered it, but I thought it was going to consider way too much research than what I wanted to put forth the effort to. So
Flat Earth / Hollow Earth theories.
Oh, yeah.
What was that one called again? The rich people?
Oh, Bilderberg.
Okay.
Bilderberg.
Yeah.
Bilderberg.
That's kind of a fun word.
Yeah, I put Flat Earth.
Sorry, Tyler. Not doing it.
Flat Earth and Hollow Earth, I put those together because they're Earth.
Because they're Earth.
I considered that too.
What about Planet X / Nibiru? The end of the world theory that says there's a secret planet, Planet X or Nibiru, that's
I've heard of all of these.
Going through space that's hidden in space that will eventually collide with Earth.
My God.
What about that theory about getting your nose in it?
That's not a conspiracy theory.
Lizard people.
That's an action. That's a
Lizard
chosen
people.
action.
Yeah. That's what I choose.
Wait, there's lizard people, and more specifically, that the royal family is lizard people.
Yeah,
Put your nose in it and shape your balls.
AKA, they're the Anunnaki, and they're part of the deep state.
Anunnaki.
Yeah.
Well, they're the ones that created us.
They're actually a part of the Planet X Nibiru conspiracy theory. Oh my God, I went so deep with this at one point because it was so freaking just funny.
Balls deep.
Yeah, that Planet X and / Nibiru was actually what created the moon. It crashed into Earth already at one point and created the moon. Now, there is scientific evidence that the moon is created from two bodies colliding with each other that was Earth at one point. And
there's a theory the moon
sounds like
came...
that Leslie Nielsen movie.
Yeah.
There's a theory the moon came from one of our oceans.
I mean, from the 60s.
Yeah.
Not any of his.
Yeah, a planet something. I can't remember now. I guess that brings us to, there's so many of them out there. That's just the tip of the metaphorical
There's
iceberg.
ones that are kind of like make you think like, wait,
Yeah, that's just
the
the tip.
fuck up.
Just the tip.
And then there's ones that are obviously just silly. You know, there's not.
Lizard people.
It's like one page of information.
Yeah.
And then there's ones that go so deep, and you're like, wait, holy shit, do I believe this? Like at the end.
The Men in Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Not just a
I
Will
should-
Smith movie.
Yeah, not the movies, but like actual Men in Black. Oh, that would have been a cool one.
There's just so many of them out there. It makes you go, well, why do people believe in them? Well, I read an article.
Oh, the Obama being an alien.
No, that was just Obama is not born in America. He's a Kenyan.
Oh no, there was more.
That's what
to
that
it.
conspiracy theory.
there was more
from
to
my
it.
from my
what I'm-
knowledge, anyway.
Wait, Kenyan?
Yeah, from Kenya.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is stupid. I wasn't aware that there was like a.
I don't know if he
specific-
actually was. That's just a conspiracy theory. They say that he got a birth certificate faked in Hawaii, but he was actually born in Kenya, so he shouldn't have been able to.
I
run
don't
for
believe he was
president.
born in Kenya, but what I'm saying is I wasn't aware that there was like a name for Kenyan. I didn't know that was.
That's just what they called him. I don't know if it's. I am so sorry to the people of Kenya if that is actually an offensive
Well,
term.
what else would they be
Because
called?
I have no clue, and I'm just referring to what they referred to ex-president Obama and his suspect. I use that term very loosely. Suspect birth records.
I heard that if Trump bleeds, it's actually Cheeto cheese.
Cheeto dust. Oh man.
He's got reverse vitiligo. He's not white. He is now permanently orange. But why do people believe in these things?
It's fun.
Because a lot of times, I will say a lot of times, some of this shit has got to be true.
Well, some of them are based
I mean-
on plausible facts.
The government's always up to something.
Well, yeah, I don't trust the government.
Not necessarily the government, but just powerful people
Well, there's
in general.
there were actually. I'll get into it, but
But
just
CIA, FBI,
I read
Roswell.
this article by Scientific American, which is actually a reputable, news source. Right? It's a information book.
You're looking for cats.
What?
Scientific American is reputable, correct?
Sir Bradley
Yes.
didn't say anything.
Yeah. There was an article by this person, where's it at? Thea Buckley. She wrote about this interview she had with a professor of psychology at Goldsmiths and the University of London, Christopher French. He explains why people believe in them because although conspiracy, I'm going quote unquote here, although conspiracy beliefs can be occasionally be based on a rational analysis of the evidence, most of the time they are not. As a species, one of our greatest strengths is our ability to find meaningful patterns in the world around us and to make casual inferences. However, we see more of these patterns and connections that are not there, especially when we feel like events are beyond our control, like September 11th. Of course, him saying this is an endorsement, of course, that all conspiracy theories are fake. It says, on the contrary, some conspiracy theories have been proven to be true. For example, did you all know that the U.S. government gave LSD secretly to unsuspecting
Oh yeah, MK
individuals?
Ultra.
That's
yeah,
right.
That's super real.
Mind control. That's what the whole
Super
Stranger
real,
Things TV
super
show is
fucked
based
up.
on. Also,
Fucking
Wormwood.
amazing
Oh,
show.
Yeah.
interesting fact about that.
Yeah, Project Wormwood, MK Ultra. Yes.
Interesting fact about that I learned today. Well, this is more of like a urban legend type thing to do with that.
Right.
But there's this YouTuber I watch. I started watching her pretty recently. Her name is Stephanie Sue. She's Korean, but she lives in. I think she lives in California. But
She's a Korean American. Yeah.
yeah. But her channel is really cool. She has two channels, but the one I mainly watch, she does. Wow.
Fucking nice.
Thank you.
Holy crap. She
Should
does.
feel better because
I
it
do
smells
feel
worse
better.
in here.
She does.
It's also hard to see.
Okay. She does mukbangs, but she also
What?
Ta-
Wait, what was that again?
mukbang or mukbang, however you want to say it. It's. Do you actually not know
Oh
what
yeah,
that is?
okay. I was trying to remember. Now I know what you're talking
I
about.
was like, wait a second.
By the way, audience, that is not a
No,
category of porn.
No, it.
Yet.
I don't think you actually, dude. I don't think you actually had to say that because it's not. It's a very well known thing.
I don't-
Okay. Shh. Anyways, she does mukbangs, all sorts of different types of food. Sometimes there's a theme in the food. Sometimes it's just whatever the fuck she wanted. But she talks about like true crime stories. Her and her fiance will swap like scary stories, whatever. And today I was watching one where she was talking about this YouTuber that had disappeared, but she did a little like side story at the end because she was trying the ending wasn't so great. She was trying to like add to the video, and she mentioned MK Ultra, and she mentioned there's this art there. Now this is like urban legends, conspiracy sort of part, but supposedly in this one arcade in this one town, she said the town, but I can't remember. There was this game that people were like addicted to, and there was like lots of bright colors and geometric patterns and stuff. And
Call of Duty?
People, no, video game like arcade.
To be fair, that sounded.
And this was like a few years after MK Ultra kind of came out, and was like, yeah, we did that, and that happened. And she's now. Apparently there's like reports that instead of people coming in and getting like the money from the machine, because like the arcade, they don't make money from the games. They just, they sell snacks or whatever. But then like the companies that own the games, they'll come in, get all the quarters, blah, blah, blah. And if it's broken or something, they come in and fix it. Well, supposedly these men in suits would come in and they would check the data on the game, not really get the money, but they would check the data. And then after like a couple months, they took the game away, and it never appeared anywhere else again. And people reported having like seizures and like self-harm tendencies like in this town after they played this game. And people are saying it was like a electronic LSD, and that they were furthering the study on like, if we do these certain things, like what will people do? And they were like studying how addictive it was.
Honestly, that's not too far-fetched.
My interest is peaked.
I mean, it's really not too far-fetched because
I'm just going off literally what she said. I didn't look it up anymore.
Advertising uses a mild form of that ploy, as in subliminal messaging. They'll
but it's not supposed to. It's supposed to just make you want a cheeseburger or a new iPhone. It's not like, oh, let me go like play this game in the arcade and then later like hurt myself.
I want to see what your reactions after.
Yeah, but it's weird because they didn't come in and like. I mean, I suppose at some point the money had to be emptied because there's only so much room. But they studied the data on the game, and then they finally took it away, and it never appeared in any other arcade or anything. And this is just like urban legend. It may not happened, or it might have happened because MK Ultra happened. And it's just all fucked up and weird. And so who's gonna go first?
Yeah, we all three have our own personal, quote unquote, favorites, or at least very interesting topics.
Yeah. Is it me that like suggested conspiracy theories?
I don't know,
because I'm obsessed with Jenna and Julian. And the Jenna and Julian podcast.
That reminds me.
I love you guys.
That fucking that documentary on shit. I can't think of his fucking name now. The Donkey Kong. High score. Billy.
Yeah, I remember that. I never did watch that whole.
Man, he comes across as a prick.
A lot of them like that. All right.
Maybe he wanted to come across that way. I don't know. But
could be.
Some people are just natural assholes.
I mean, who wants to go first? If none of us
do not want to go first.
Okay, she does not.
She is not wanting to go first. You know what? Let's start off with me. Because mine's I don't know what yours is. I know you told me, but I done fucking forgot. But mine's kind of lighthearted. So
yeah, do lighthearted, then we'll get into.
Mine's a tad bit dark, not like
we're gonna spit on it before we go balls deep on it. But real quickly before I get into mine, and it's actually just a coincidence that I'm doing what I'm doing, what I'm getting ready to say, what I'm going to say. So if any listeners out there have considered private instruction for baseball for their children, or hell, even yourself, but Kentucky Baseball Academy is actually personally took my son to see the instructor, Logan Bell. Had a lot of good experiences with Logan. So if anybody out there is interested in private baseball instruction, give Logan a shout. Looks here is you can give him a shout at 270-792-1799, or you can reach him Instagram at KY Baseball Academy.
Yay.
Awesome.
So,
hey, sorry, I don't have.
thank you very much.
Clapping.
Thank you for your time, Logan. We've greatly appreciated the help that you've given my son. So
that's right on. Anybody that can do some sort of instruction to be able to enhance somebody's skill, that's great.
Yes.
You have a soundboard, but you can't see it right now, and you never keep your iPad lit up to use it.
Well, I don't have my iPad hooked up because I have it for my parts.
Well, why do you have it out?
Because I have pictures on there.
Oh,
so I
okay.
can show both of you.
So, like I said, that's just incredibly coincidental that I was going to give Logan a shout out, but it turns out that my conspiracy theory is about baseball.
I was going to say that I would have guessed that your theory would have been about music or baseball. I mean, just by...
well, I mean, those are kind of two huge things in my life,
exactly.
So, yeah.
I didn't mean that in a negative way. I was just... Yeah. But that's great.
No, I didn't take it that way.
I mean, you're wearing an MTV shirt holding a baseball.
The baseball thing that I'm holding in my hand actually has nothing to do with this. It's something else that's completely coincidental.
It happens.
Somebody gave this to me, said, "Hey, I found this ball. Here you go." And ever since, I just kind of like to keep it around. So
that's how those dating websites work too.
Somebody give you something, it just kind of sticks around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also works as a person. Here's a person. Now they won't go away.
That's called stalking, and that's illegal.
Or crabs.
Or crabs.
Itchy.
Anyway, so the conspiracy theory that I actually dug into just a little bit, and I've told you guys a ton off mic that after the research that I did for the Gallagher brothers on our sibling rivalry, it just kind of. Yeah, that was like way too much. I spent a lot of time on that research, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not
this time.
Not this time. No, absolutely not. And
because here's the thing: we're just going to give you the tidbits. We're just going to just the tip.
Just the tip.
So that if y'all want to learn more, y'all can do your own research.
That's right.
Yeah, look at
that
yourself.
is exactly right. Now,
Fall down the holes. Rabbit holes.
So the theory kind of started in the 90s, which obviously that's kind of when steroid ball was kind of big, a.k.a., But even though it was not illegal at the time, or, not tested in MLB, but...
Jose Canseco got real big within a couple of seasons. That's all I got to say.
So a lot of that, and that's kind of a little bit of a conspiracy in of itself, is baseball looking the other way, on a lot of shit that was going on that they really kind of probably should have kind of
not
buckled down on, but over the years there's been many players themselves. There's been journalists that have made these accusations that they think that the ball is juiced. And for those of you that don't know what that means, is they fuck with the ball to make it fly off the bat further and faster.
Yep.
So, AKA more home runs.
Isn't there one about baseball or basketballs too? Or footballs? Oh, there's one about footballs.
Well,
anyways, sorry.
Most football, the stuff with football is really... Some guys do steroids, and it's not looked down. It's not frowned upon like it is in baseball for whatever reason. But
that's in before.
So in the 90s and in the 2000s, that's where this juiced ball theory kind of comes into play, and it came from Jim Sherwood, University of Massachusetts, Lowell, if I'm saying that correctly. He was hired to test some balls manufactured by Rawlings Company in Costa Rica. Didn't expect any changes were made, but
Who knows? Maybe this guy was paid by MLB to do this, and
I wouldn't doubt it.
Hey, here you go. Here's a little extra money. Don't say anything, kind of thing.
Yeah. Got to spend a little, make a little.
Many pitchers done their own test. Holding a ball up and just dropping it, and comparing the balls from another time to brand new. And found differences in these. But the league, and I say league, MLB, Major League Baseball, has always denied this. But when you see an influx of, especially home runs, I mean, not just home runs, but how hard balls are being hit and things of that nature. It's not. There's got to be something to it.
Right.
It can't just. Okay, so currently, this season, major leagues altogether are on an incredible pace to shatter most home runs hit in season by the entire league.
Right.
And people are even denying it, or excuse me, well, yeah, they're denying it today. Major League Baseball is, but pitchers and journalists are still talking about this today. Actually, I had done the research to this stuff and found that, okay, I'm done. I got enough. And then next thing I know, I'm watching the Home Run Derby earlier this week. And lo and behold, on the bottom of the screen, Justin Verlander thinks that the balls are being, altered in some way. I'm like, wow, what the fuck? Really? Mm-hmm. That's incredibly coincidental that I'm doing a juiced ball theory and it's still relevant today. So
yeah, it's a form of cheating. If you ever watch those YouTube videos of players getting caught, they're entertaining.
It is to a certain. I think, in my opinion, as far as if these balls are juiced, it's not cheating anyone that's playing today. It's cheating the statistics and the history. Like it was different for Babe Ruth because he never played night games like these guys do. He never had artificial light to play in, so he never had these big, huge fucking stadium lights around him playing.
Yeah,
all of it was daytime games. Mm-hmm. And baseball itself has just kind of gone through renovation after renovation after renovation over the years.
Yeah.
But nobody tends to mention those things, though. Like they don't want what it became after this happened, and what it became after that happened, and this rule, and then that rule. Well, what about all the people that played before then? It's going to evolve. Mm-hmm. So you're just going to have to fucking suck it up, Buttercup, and just fucking accept it that it's going to change, and that these numbers and these statistics are going to be looked at differently from today than they were 100 years ago, 50 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that goes with my point about the whole juicing, scandals of the late 90s, early 2000s with players like Jose Canseco, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa. When the home run race was, huge.
Summer of 98. Man, I fucking loved that summer.
Let me tell you. Okay, yeah, they took steroids to be bigger. But if you were a good enough pitcher, you could throw a ball that they couldn't reach. Steroids has absolutely nothing to do with your eyesight and your coordination. It just has to do with how big your muscles you are, how strong you are. If you don't want them driving the ball out of the park, don't throw a fastball. Throw a curve. Throw a slider.
That is kind of an argument that Mark McGwire has made over the years, that it takes more than muscles to hit a home run.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than that, and I agree with
Take it from me, if you didn't listen to episode 2 of Soaking Nostalgia.
That was an incredibly bad. It was so bad.
Well, I mean, between
the quality.
Well, the quality, yeah. But I'm talking about when we were talking about how in between seasons I got better and I could actually.
Yeah, and I was like, "You motherfucker." I hated you.
It took so much more than strength.
I've hated you since second season of Pitching Machine. He's like, "Oh, this motherfucker decides he wants to hit home runs this year." Okay, fuck him.
I didn't get any stronger. I'll just say that I did not get any stronger. I worked on a skill. So I take it from me. Steroids has absolutely nothing, and I repeat, nothing to do with hitting a baseball, unless it's just a fastball straight down the middle. If you're a good pitcher, yeah, they ain't gonna hit it.
So I'm not really going to get into a lot of this. As a matter of fact, I can pretty much start to wrap this shit up. So, but just to kind of give people something of an idea of what we're looking at here. In 2017, so just 2 years ago, the league broke a record, shattered a record by home runs set by the league for an entire year. So it surpassed the record was set in 2000, having 5,693 home runs. So in 2017, they actually hit 6,105 home runs. This year, they're expecting to
break that record.
Surpass that by 400 or 500 home runs. So
what that tells me is pitchers, your starting pitchers, your relief pitchers, get better.
Be better.
Now as far as pitchers go, I mean they do have the what do you call it, the philosophy of pitching these days has changed significantly. Like starting pitchers, you don't really get complete games anymore.
No,
Nolan.
You get a handful a season that will start and close.
Yeah, and you got Nolan Ryan, throwing 200 plus pitches a game.
And he did that, and he never slowed down.
Yeah, never slowed down. Had one of the longest careers in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, but I think what it is a lot of times is pitchers like him, he'll have a lot of, after he quits playing, a lot of trouble with his shoulders and stuff like that. I think that's what the league is afraid of, is that all these pitchers are going to end up like that.
But so there are a lot of changes in baseball, and I don't exactly know why. Well, I mean, I guess I have something of an idea. But when I was a kid, baseball was huge, and now to me, it feels like baseball is dying, and it has for quite some time.
I mean, you're looking at you're looking at half-empty stadiums until the postseason.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I mean, it wasn't every game was a sellout, but you had the majority of the season where you had close. It was America's pastime.
And it felt...
But again, I mean, to be fair, we're now in a society where competitiveness is frowned upon.
Well, I mean, that even goes into baseball. A lot of these star players, they're friends with each other on opposing teams, and you don't have the rivalries that you used to. Now, there's still some pretty big rivalries out there, like the Yankees and Red Sox.
Well, I mean, team-wise, yeah, but you don't have, like, players. I mean, like you had in basketball, Jordan and Bird and Johnson, and Bird's in there quite a bit. Because he's just a great player.
Barkley and everybody.
Dennis Rodman in life.
Yeah.
Now Dennis Rodman in America.
Yeah. But... so anyway, a lot of what these journalists and pitchers are getting at is they feel that the ball is, well, I mean, you can obviously tell by the numbers, and you can't sit there and fucking tell me that people are just getting stronger.
No.
Or that much better. No.
Hand-eye coordination is not evolving.
Launch angle, no. I mean, sure, that can help to some degree, but it's not going to... There's no fucking way.
No, it could be recruiting's better. They're recruiting in places they don't normally... or like they wouldn't have done in the past. Maybe they're finding better talent. I can believe some of that.
There's got to be...
Your minor league system's a lot better than what it used to be. But at the same time.
But anyway, this juiced ball theory, a lot of people are thinking, okay, well, it's got something to do with the seams. And I actually didn't realize until here the past couple of years, really, that I always thought if a pitcher, excuse me,
a pisser.
if a pitcher got a blister, he would be out. And I'm like, you fucking pussy.
Yeah.
And didn't realize that it's hard to grip one of these things.
It is, especially for
and
the
to throw
pitches.
it at the velocity that they throw it and the angle in which they throw it, because it's not all just throwing a ball.
No.
There's different release points, and
I mean,
there's a lot to it. So I can understand that.
A knuckleball. And if you take that,
yeah, right here.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, check this, babe. That's how they throw it for a knuckleball.
And not only do they do that, but they gotta flick their fingers when they throw it, so it's.
Yeah, there's a science and an art to it.
There's
Seems uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable.
Looks weird.
But
A slider. I mean, you're using two fingers.
So
or at least that was old school way, anyway.
Well, that way. See, here's the curve.
Yep.
Here's the slider. It's very, very similar, but it.
Yeah.
How you.
I just remember growing up old school.
12-6 curve, and then the slider is.
When you had a really good slider that made that really big dip, is you used just your thumb and your index finger, and how they threw that from pitcher's mound to home plate at the velocity and skill will always blow my mind.
And so pitchers are complaining that, okay, well, some of these baseballs seem to be raised a little higher than what they normally would. So how the ball is made, and for those who want to know, the outer part of a baseball is cowhide, and you get yarn, and the core that's cork and rubber internally. So that's how a ball is made. But
you hear that? Yarn.
Yarp.
There was a time I couldn't talk about yarn without you going yarn, and I was like, I'm just trying.
Did it come from Yarp?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yarn.
Yarn.
This is funny.
Yarp.
Yarn.
I love that.
I'm just trying to talk about a blanket I'm making.
What was it? Hot Fuzz? Is that what it was?
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz. Love that movie. So yeah, between the seams and the internal design of the ball, I think that's what people are kind of getting at, is being tampered with. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it definitely holds a little bit of weight, even though Major League Baseball is constantly
But then you have to worry
denying.
But now you have to worry about the umpires walking around with a knife to cut it open.
Well, see, the thing of it is, it would be the league. It wouldn't be a home team or a visiting team. It would be the league themselves. So yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah. So anyway, there you go, people.
I've learned a lot.
There are people that do believe that baseballs are being tampered with. So we're seeing the long ball. I think what it is, to be honest, is Major League Baseball is well aware that the chicks dig the long ball. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, probably. Kat, you want to go next, or do you want me to?
Can we take a pee break?
Yeah, we can take a pee break. All right, everybody.
Oh, you got to leave that in.
Oh, gotta.
Oh, yeah, you do.
It'll be all right. All right, we'll be right back. And we're back, and I think Sir Bradley was going to tell us something before we took a break.
I forgot to plug some of my
sources.
There you go.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
You're the one that wanted to do it, and you forgot the word.
It took me a minute. I was trying to figure out what he was trying to say.
Yep. But thanks to CBSSports.com and also Wikipedia.
Nice.
But even though I didn't really go over a whole lot of what I had wrote down, to be honest, but we hit it. We hit it all pretty good.
Yeah.
We knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
wonder why.
Like they be doing with those tampered balls. I mean,
Cat, that sounds wonderful. Tampered balls.
Tampered balls, yeah.
That's wonderful.
That might actually be a porn category.
I forgot the other word, but yeah, juiced balls.
Juiced balls, yeah.
That's probably, you could probably type almost anything
into Google, and you're going to get a porn link somewhere.
Well, no, like go to a porn site and type in. You can type in water or chapstick, and there's probably at least one video, even if it's really shitty and only 30 seconds long.
Go to Pornhub for all your porn needs.
Joe Rogan, love you, Joe Rogan. He gave an interview a couple months ago with I can't remember what the guy's name is, Ben something, and
on his podcast.
Yeah, on his podcast, on the Joe Rogan Experience. Love that podcast.
Where sometimes episodes are 5 fucking hours long.
Yeah.
Jesus.
With Alex Jones. That's because he was a massive conspiracy theorist. If you know anybody who knows who Alex Jones is.
Still could have broken it up. Anyway.
Alex Jones?
Alex is.
No, I don't know him.
Yeah.
I was like,
here, I'll tell you who Alex Jones is. He's out of his mind. Okay. Okay, so he said.
Good to know.
Ben Shapiro, that's who it is. He was talking to Ben Shapiro. And
oh, okay, I know him.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Do you?
I actually do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm being serious.
He's not actually BSing this time.
I fell for it. Well, he was talking to him, and they were talking about how, what drives people, and your urges and all this stuff. And they were like, Ben Shapiro's like, well, as a Jewish person, I wear the Yom our religion is taught to keep yourself from following these urges, without getting into too much detail. And they're like, and if you, have to outside of marriage, well, they make porn for if that. If you have to sin some way, there's porn for you. And Joe Rogan goes, if they stopped making porn right now completely, I think we'd be good. What he meant by that was there's so much porn out there. There is no way one person could watch every bit of porn out there, so they could stop now.
Well, not every person wants to watch every category,
True.
So
and we'd be good.
There's something for everyone.
Up to date, because it was awful hairy in the 70s and 80s.
That's coming back, so I hear.
Like I said, there's something for everyone, no matter what.
90s and early 2000s was bald eagles, and
I mean that's just as trendy as like what you do with your hair or your jewelry. Like
it is.
It all
Remember
changes.
the vaseline?
Oh.
But then there's always going to be people that are just going to do whatever they want, no matter what's popular. They're just like, whatever.
All right. Anyway, back into this. My topic, since Kat is like, please go. You told me to.
No, she didn't.
No, I said I don't want to go first.
Oh, well, if you want to go next, go right ahead.
Yeah. And then I had to pee.
Go right ahead. If you're ready to go, go right ahead. I'm very interested in her topic because we just visited a place on vacation.
I still know what yours is. Did
you
tell me what yours is?
Yeah, I will.
No, did you?
Yes, I did.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
okay.
He told me, and I forgot to.
Yeah.
But I do.
Oh wait, no. Oh no, about the freaking airport. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. That's what it is.
You literally told me like 40 minutes ago, and I looked at your page and I saw pictures, and I still forgot.
And the words are right there.
Right there. Well, I mean.
THEDENVER.
Airport.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So let me know when you want to play this clip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have that ability.
Right now.
Okay.
Titanic are countless. The most popular one is a theory that claims that the sinking of Titanic was in fact part of a huge insurance scam. Most people don't know that Titanic had two nearly identical sisters, Olympic and Britannic. According to this theory, the ship's operator and owner, White Star Line, tried to use the extreme similarity of Titanic and Olympic to fool the world, fool the passengers, fool the insurance company to claim a large sum of money. But is it...
There you go.
I'm going to say that you guys should have played the music of the Titanic sinking.
I could talk about this too.
Or My Heart Will Go On.
Okay,
funny trivia about that. Celine Dion, who sang that song, My Heart Will Go On, hated that song. She refused to do it, and then until her husband, said, "Please do it." My friend
was
James,
the director, right?
He was a music producer.
To do with it?
He was a music producer, and he said, "Please, my friend James Cameron is making this movie. Please, will you do this for me?" So she goes in and she knocks that song out in one take.
Because she's like wanted to get
what you hear on the radio and in the movie, one take. She hates that song. And now she has to sing it on Vegas every night.
You know, one of the best singers we've ever heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways.
No, hands down.
That little sound bite. Here, turn your laptop so
Yeah.
I can just see it for a sec.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was eating a Mentos. So that little clip is from. Thank you. The full video is 4 minutes and 1 second long, but it's from a channel called British
Path.
Pathe.
P-A-T-H-E with a little accent mark on it.
With the accent mark, so not entirely sure how to say that. And
British
the
Path. That's how you
icon
pronounce
is like a rooster or something. Anyways.
Black and white cock.
Yeah. Anyways. He had a very nice British voice.
Is the black one bigger?
No, there's not. There's nothing.
Oh, no. It's all white.
It's just a picture.
It's all white, baby. It's all white. I'm sorry.
Can you please?
Yeah.
Stereotypes.
Absolutely stop.
I'm done.
Thank you. All right. So, yes. White Star Line is the owner, or I guess was the owner of the Titanic. The Titanic is actually, I guess you want to say, the middle child of a trio of ships that were very, very similar. The Olympic, the Titanic, the Olympic, the Titanic, and the Britannic.
Yeah. Like the encyclopedia without the
Yeah, I guess. I guess. That's funny. So, Britannic. Anyways, the Olympic built, or I guess completed and started service in 1911. It was the longest, going into 1935. The Titanic, obviously, 1912 to 1912 because it fucking sank. And
4 days old, babe. 4 days old.
4 days old.
5 days. I'm sorry.
Well, no, anyways, we'll get into it, shush. And the Britannic from 1914 to 1916, as Wikipedia states. Thank you, Wikipedia. The Britannic also sank. It's, I think I went to, am I on the Britannic right now? What ship am I on? No, the Titanic. Sorry, White Star Line has like a lot of ships. Like they did a lot of things. Let me go to the Britannic. It, I believe, served as a hospital boat or vessel or ship. Okay. Anyways, what? No, I thought you were going to say something. So they were all sister ships, and the conspiracy is that the Olympic and the Titanic were switched before the Titanic actually set sail and, did its thing by sinking after it hit the iceberg. So, y'all want to hear some shit?
Yes.
So
that's why we're here, babe.
Starting with the Olympic. Now, there was Matt and I visited.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is Jack Dawson going to be mentioned?
No.
Okay.
There was A.J. Dawson on board, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
But nothing like
Rose and Jack aren't real. Sorry. Anyways, we are starting with the Olympic because it kind of starts with the Olympic. They were very proud of this ship, but it was involved in a collision with a ship called the HMS Hawke, Hawke. If it's pronounced a slightly different way, I'm sorry. I'm American. Okay.
I'm sure the E is silent. I like how Brad.
The E was
Hawk. Like Hawkaloogie.
Stop. Fuck. Can you absolutely stop, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
And it's Sir Bradley, motherfucker.
Okay. It was.
I don't know who the fuck this Brad is you keep mentioning. But.
I'm not going to say Sir Bradley. I don't even remember to. So, when you like, when you like total a car, but it's not like visually doesn't look bad, but it can't do shit.
Yeah.
That was
But Blue Book says you're screwed.
Yeah.
That was the Olympic. It didn't look bad, but it couldn't fucking really do anything. It was messed up because the HMS Hawke, it was an Edgar class protected cruiser, so it was a fighting ship. Now, by all the eyewitness accounts, because something like this happens, insurance gets involved, the companies gets involved. Everybody's like, what the hell happened? So the Olympic was blamed. So
you done fucked up, Ron.
I'm fucked up, Olympic. So any insurance money they would have possibly got to repair the ship, they weren't getting. Because by all the eyewitness people said the Olympic was at fault. Take that as you will, you know. Not really YouTubers or people on their phones filming this kind of stuff, being like, oh my god, this ship just hit the ship. It was just like, oh, these people saw this and this is what they said. And enough people said the Olympic was at fault. So there's no money to fix it. What are they going to do? What's happening? Now, at the same time, you know, the Olympic is finished. It's been sailing. It's had a crash. It can't run. The Titanic, it's being finished up, you know? And they're pretty excited. The boats,
Coinky dink.
The ships, very, very similar. Only, you know, some of the portholes, you know, like the windows on the side, they're a little bit different. There's this one deck that's more closed on one and more open on the other, but basically identical, right?
Yeah.
So the theory is
identical twins with one with a mole.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Right on the stern.
So.
In her what?
Porthole.
Now the Olympic back then, it cost $7.5 million to build. That's the equivalent of like $190 million today. Because
crap.
Because
a boat.
Well, a very large ship that was very luxurious and meant to hold very many people. Yeah. So, but still, yeah, it's a lot.
After the Titanic, you would have thought they'd give a discount.
This was before.
Oh, it's before.
Yeah.
Sorry, anyways. My watch is telling me to breathe. Sorry.
No, it's his Apple Watch. There's a Zap on here.
Yeah, in case you forget to do that.
Yeah, it tells me to breathe and it tells me to stand up.
It's one of those that, like, I guess it just reminds you not to just...
Yeah. Don't be a lazy fucker.
I guess so.
Don't forget to breathe, bitch. Sorry, continue. It's just, it buzzes really hard on my wrist. So
yeah, it's got all those like weird.
This is very interesting. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
this is. I've always been interested in the Titanic. Okay. Like whenever the movie came out in the night, well, I think it was '97. I think.
Yeah.
Whenever I first saw the trailer, I'm like, "Oh God, it's Titanic! I gotta watch that." And didn't think a fucking thing in the world about being a a romantic drama.
And there being boobs eventually.
Yeah. What?
Oh my gosh. Are we allowed to play this? We're going to get sued. Oh no.
I just thought while Sir Bradley was talking about the
movie. Oh, it's Rose.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Rose's boobs.
Wow.
But she brought up the boobs. I was terrified watching it with my parents and then once again with my cousin's parents. I was like, oh God, no.
Cousin's parents.
But
oh no.
I don't want to have this awkward conversation.
But you should have looked at him and go, but it's art. And I'm very interested in art.
I didn't think about that at 13 years old. So
I mean, it was.
I tell you what.
How old was I?
No, 15. You were 15.
15.
Because me and Tiny went to go watch that movie twice in theater.
I saw it twice in theater.
First time because we didn't know there were boobs in it. Second time because we knew there were boobs in it.
Wasn't there versions?
Shout out Tiny.
Weren't there versions that they sold on VHS? It was like
Titanic 2. There was also the movie Titanic.
Like edited versions?
Yeah, like taking out goddamn and things like that.
Well, yeah, when they release American-made movies internationally, some things are changed.
Well, if they were going to change anything bad, the least they could have done was take out Billy Zane.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie.
He was hotly. He was the rich fiance.
Oh,
yeah.
I totally forgot about that guy. Anyways.
That would have been in the edited version.
Kathy Bates. God, I forgot she was in it.
Yeah, she played Molly Brown, the unsinkable Molly Brown. Anyway, we can do an episode on Titanic at some
like the movie, not the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. That's a good movie, though.
Okay. So,
it is.
I already said we went to... Okay, Matt and I went...
We went to...
I think I started to say the sentence and then I started saying something else. We went to Branson, Missouri for last week. And they have...
That's why you didn't get a podcast last week, people.
Oh, no, they got a podcast.
We got a cut in half.
Or the first.
Yeah. It was a long episode, though.
It was.
Longer than my penis.
Okay, you know.
I'm going to leave it alone.
Anyways.
It's out there, people know.
So there's a Titanic exhibit museum down there, and it's really, really good. It's has a ton of artifacts. I can't imagine how much time and effort and
money,
research and money went into this, because not only is the building itself is
half the Titanic.
It's like half the size of the Titanic. Just the outside is holy crap, it's like half the freaking ship. They have actual real artifacts recovered recovered from the site, or ladies that had their purse or something with them in the lifeboat, someone.
Let me put it to you,
actual jewelry and chairs and
Bill Paxton.
actual dishes and stuff.
Let me put the size of it into perspective. The Titanic.
Of the Titanic, yeah.
We went through that attraction. We didn't really stop. We were kind of moving pretty decent.
There's a lot of people there, too.
Just half the Titanic to go on the floors, 2 hours. 2 hours it took us.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine having to go from... It's no wonder people didn't make it to the lifeboats. I mean, if you really think about it, it's a huge ship.
Also, third class, no one really helped them.
Should have just made more money.
What?
They should have just made more money.
Should have just made,
That's going to be on a t-shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably right.
The Titanic, third class. They should have just made more money.
They were trying their best.
Oh, you need the matte shirt.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, work on the Titanic was delayed while the Olympic was being repaired. Because at this point, they, I guess they didn't get the insurance money, but they were still fixing it because they were like, we're not freaking giving up on this.
It was the Special Olympic.
It was... Can I, get through a paragraph, please?
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sir Bradley does not endorse.
Oh, man. I saw this really cool timeline thing. There's the iceberg warning. Anyways. So.
Yeah, I just reached mine.
You did.
So the Titanic, or the Olympic was fixed, but then. Oh, crap. What is the propeller?
Yeah.
The propeller,
Yeah.
I think it, I'm not exactly sure, but it fell off. Then they could not replace it because I'm sure it was custom made for each ship.
And for you young people who might not know what a propeller actually is, it is not a person that drinks Propel.
I don't think that's a thing, actually.
I don't think these young people are going to be listening to us.
I also don't think enough people drink Propel to call themselves propellers. I don't.
I was just trying to make the distinction.
I don't. It didn't have to be made. I don't. Okay. I mean,
I enjoyed the comment,
but it was stupid.
Maybe that's why I enjoyed it.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. I'm sorry for that joke, because I'm sure there is someone younger watching us. Okay, go ahead and take your drink without drink.
There's probably someone younger that.
All right.
Even though I made mention that why the fuck are you listening to this podcast in a commercial?
Because why not?
Because people don't go outside anymore.
Okay. So the Titanic and the Olympic were built kind of side by side. Uh-huh. And there was this cool little film that was, at the Titanic exhibit, and you could probably find it online or something similar, explaining how ships are built or whatever. But
what made the Titanic seem like it was unsinkable?
Well,
the double barrel bottom.
Yeah, and the Olympic and the Britannic. They all had the same kind of system. What was it? If four of these water things at the bottom get flooded, it'll still be okay.
Yeah.
But the Titanic ended up 6 getting flooded, so it did not make it.
They didn't close the air tight.
They did. Now
quick enough.
Now when the Olympic got damaged, it's kind of gouged a hole in the side.
Yeah.
And people love to compare pictures of the Olympic versus the Titanic. Now, the Titanic wasn't, even though there's documentaries and YouTube videos and a whole ass movie and all that stuff made about it, back in the day, it wasn't actually very publicized. Like, there wasn't much press, there wasn't much talk about it. Like, they were working on it, getting it done. You know, they had, you know, obviously it was delayed because they were repairing the Olympic, but they still had a plan for it. They were like, okay, you know, it's going to leave from here, it's going to go here and here, blah, 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 so many passengers, here's all the dishes and the food, check all this shit off, here's the crew members, blah, blah, blah. But, excuse me, I thought I was going to...
Sounds like they even had fucking dog groomers on the fucking...
They did.
You know, they might have...
Oh, Jesus.
They might have, because some of the...
trying to be funny.
No, there was this thing, they had like a little miniature like exhibit thing talking about the dogs of the Titanic, because they're, you know...
They were pet friendly for the higher class.
For the, you know, first class people, because, you know, they had bigger rooms or whatever.
It's sad when the dogs are able to go to the top deck and the third class isn't.
But you know what the first class people weren't allowed to do?
What?
They were not allowed to explore the poop deck.
I believe it.
That was it was really cool, because they had these little placard type of deals at like child height level all around,
right?
And it looked like a little dog, and it was like a question like, you know, what kind of dish was used for this, and like there was this little paw on a hinge, and the kid could lift it up, or, you know, anyone could look at it, but it was at kid height, kind of trying to engage the kids. Also, there was a bunch of like interactive things where you could touch it and, you know, do all sorts of stuff. It was really a cool exhibit for, you know, all ages, and they had a really comprehensive, like, they had a whole room that was just like the children of the Titanic, like as many pictures as they could find. Like, they had to have like a team just dedicated working on all this, because it was so much information, and it was like it was really cool. So I highly, if you ever go to Branson, Missouri, or if you live around that area and you haven't been, you know, even if you're not like, oh my gosh, the Titanic, I'm so interested, it's still a cool piece of history, and it's a really comprehensive, like, they have a lot of information.
Yeah.
You could go through that place like 6 times and read something different you've missed the last time.
You know, back in '97, I was actually a little disappointed that the movie wasn't as historic.
Accurate?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, concentrate a little bit more on the history of it rather than just like a
Jack
love
and
story.
Rose making out.
So I mean, I would.
Well, I guess that's because they didn't think that the historical aspect of it would sell. You know, when you throw in a love story, you know, that's going to sell.
I mean, it's enough because
well, I mean, obviously they made the right decision.
Yeah.
They made a fuck ton of money off this thing.
Records.
So.
Yeah. It made 2 15-year-old kids go watch it twice.
Well, I mean, I guess it garnered. You say you wish the movie had more history in it, but I think it garnered more interest in the history. That's why there's freaking museums.
Like, when I saw the trailer initially, I thought, I want to go see that because the Titanic always interests me.
Yeah.
And then when I got there and I watched the movie, I was like, ugh.
I mean, you say Titanic and people are like, the images and
even though
things come to their brain.
I could watch it now. You know, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but it's not a documentary.
Right.
You know, but you know what's funny is, oh man, the certain rooms, like in the Titanic, you know, the design of it wasn't actually designed on pictures and stuff of the Titanic. It was the Olympic.
Yeah.
And in almost all, like, prints, advertisements, you know, like posters and stuff, advertising the Titanic, it was actually pictures of the Olympic.
That's because the only pictures that were taken on the Titanic, of the people on the Titanic,
well, I meant like
was
the
by
promo
Father
stuff.
Brown, who rode only from, where'd he go? He went from England, someplace in England, to Ireland, back home to his place, because he was an Irish priest. And so he took pictures, and then he got off there in Ireland, from Ireland on to where it finally sank.
I don't think a lot of people know the Titanic actually made a couple stops. Like, it actually let people off, let people back on.
Didn't fucking know that.
It didn't just go from from point A to iceberg and then bottom of ocean.
Actual pictures of the Titanic actually survived of people on it and on the trip, was because they went from like the UK up to Ireland and then
I think it made 2 stops, actually.
Here's a piece of trivia that I found out.
So it just was getting more people on there as it went on.
Just to make this whole thing just a little more tragic, 2 things were really working against the Titanic when it sank. One, the iron that they used. It was not made for cold. It was not made for cold water. It was made for hot. If they had gone in the summer, they would have been fine. But the fact that they were going in iceberg-infested waters, which was ice cold,
which was also about 3 miles off their actual course.
Yeah, it was just made the iron brittle. Second, if they had hit the iceberg head on,
I was actually literally just going to say that.
Yeah,
they
would have been fine.
Because the keel, the way it was made, is if it had actually just, even though it was off course, if it had just stayed on course and hit it, it would have had a better chance. It would have actually probably broken the iceberg or had not so much damage. But they said they were going at maximum speed, so they turned to
Yeah, and it hit the brittle part of the iron. Now, if they'd hit forward, dead on, they would have hit the keel, which was that double barrel bottom. And much tougher than the iron that they used on the side.
Probably still wouldn't have been the best, but it would have been better.
They said the theory is that they would have made it to New York, which is where they were supposed to pull into port,
and be like, "Hey, can y'all
a day and a half to 2 days late."
Yeah.
But they would have been fine. Even if they got stuck on the iceberg, it would have still been fine because they wouldn't have sank. If they hit it dead on, everybody would have survived.
There were, I want to say, there was at least one ship.
And they were warned ahead of time. And
there was six warnings since, but they were held for a while before actually being
that's
sent
not
through.
A fucking ego at play there, is there?
Mm-hmm. Well,
my dick's bigger than yours.
There were actually.
Well, I thought they were joking because they thought the Titanic was unsinkable.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's iceberg.
And there was a coal shortage. That was harder to say than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Going on at the times, and there was this ship called the California, and I forget I think it was the HMS or some, the 3 letters. I forget the 3 letters. It was actually, it didn't have any passengers on it. Like, it could have sold, quite a few tickets to, transport people. But the only thing it was transporting was, like, clothes and blankets and probably some food or something. And it was within, 140 miles of where the Titanic was, which was off course by 3 miles of where it was supposed to be. And it was like there was these ships waiting.
Now, Trivia. Sir Bradley, do you know why the Titanic was named the RMS Titanic?
RMS?
Yeah. He has no idea.
I don't think he knows.
Right, man, Sam.
Royal Mail Service. It was going to be a mail ship.
An all-mail ship?
No. As in postage.
Here's your letter.
They were supposed to.
That's really progressive for the 1920s.
No, that it was designed to be able to carry.
That is when it happened, the 20s, right?
No, the 10s.
Oh, 10s.
1912.
Mm-hmm.
1912.
Yeah.
1912. Yeah.
So it was designed that it would take passengers in the upper crust, but it was also designed to carry as much mail as humanly possible from Europe to America. Mm-hmm. It was a mail ship.
I think I read somewhere in the museum
the more you know.
That before they knew how serious it was, the people working the mailroom, they were actually trying to get as many bags of mail out of the room as they possibly could before I think they realized this is
what I'm going to do
really bad.
Since we've kind of just veered off of the conspiracy theory and into the history.
I guess I was trying to.
Well, I know, I understand.
No, I've enjoyed the fuck.
The
out
last,
of it.
say 7-8 minutes of this, I'm going to cut out, but I'm going to keep. I'm not going to get rid of. I'm going to keep for us to have because it's really interesting. And what
do you mean keep
keep the audio? Where I'm going to keep it as a separate file. So if maybe the listeners want to hear a little more detail about the history, they can listen to that, and then we can just dedicate a whole episode to the Titanic.
I was trying to get to the more conspiracy
parts.
Go
right ahead. No, we veered off. As in, was part of.
We veered off course.
3 miles.
3 miles. Oh no, I meant to do more of this earlier, but what was it, Tuesday?
Yeah.
I felt okay Monday.
Yeah.
because I had to work, but it was very hot. And then
swamp-assy weather.
Were our nephews at the house Monday, or was it Tuesday?
It was Tuesday.
Tuesday is like a black hole, right? Like, I got home, I was tired, and the kids were there, and before I knew it, it was the next day, and I was walking into work being like, oh shit, I didn't write anything down. It just, like, went by.
That's right.
The thing of this is, you could just kind of...
And then I felt tired and sick all day Wednesday, and I felt tired and sick all day today, so it's...
Get some kind of bullet points and you just talk about it and discuss it. I mean, I didn't fucking go over hardly any of the information, you know, that
I mean, what I've got is I've got on mine, I've got main subjects on it, and then if we want to talk about any of it, we can. But I've got 8
you
points.
You record, right, when I came back?
Yes, we're recording right now, so go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep going.
I just had one more thing to say.
Yeah.
She had fucking room to scoot her ass over.
There was room for 2.
Damn straight. All right, let's get to the conspiracy
fucking fault, Rose.
part of this.
Well, the conspiracy part is... I've lost the information, but at one point, the Titanic and the Olympic were next to each other. Like, they were both fully, like, finished.
Done.
They were done.
It was a couple of days in between. One was launched.
Well, they, for some reason, they decided to paint the Olympic to, like, the same color scheme as the Titanic. And, one of the things that happened to the Olympic, during it, like, in its accident, is it tended to, like, lean to the left a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And there are reports from some of the
Mine
people.
Leans to the left a little bit too.
There's reports from some of the people that were on the Titanic. I guess gathered. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Your face is red.
The whole joke went perfect.
That the Titanic.
You're not cutting that shit out.
Listed to the left.
Yeah.
So, like, why would it do that if it was new? Like, why is it leaning this way
instead of just
being instead of just being like totally straight and flat? If you look, so I saw some pictures of the Titanic, you know, post or after it's sunk. People going down there and exploring and taking pictures. The portholes on the Titanic, there were, I believe, I hope I'm getting the numbers right. I think there were 16 on the Titanic, and they were all pretty much the same size and pretty spaced apart, like pretty evenly, like pretty pleasing to the eye. The Olympic had 14, and they were a little more odd. Like, some seemed to be a little smaller, some were a little bigger. There was bigger spaces in between them. And, of course, I'm going to send all the websites that I'm looking at to Matt so he can put them in the description or the whatever you call it. I say description box or whatever because I'm a YouTube junkie. And that's everyone's like, it's linked in the description. So I say description because I love YouTube. So all this information is going to be available and you guys can check it out yourself.
Cool.
But there was a picture taken of the Titanic, underwater after people had found it. And the portholes match an actual picture. Like, they match better with a picture of the Olympic rather than a picture of the Titanic. And and the the Olympic, when it was taken out of commission, they took some of the wood paneling and put it in this one like fancy hotel because I guess it was still it was decommissioned, but it was still nice paneling needed to be moved somewhere. And like how you get like a set where you build something like a car or a dinosaur. Right. It'll, the pieces are numbered, and it kind of helps you like know what goes where and not mix it up if you get another set or something, right?
That's how I like to put Legos together.
Legos don't have numbers, but they have the guide to tell you what to do to make a certain thing.
I was not allowed to play with weapons as a child.
So the Olympic, like its stuff, like the propeller, supposedly what it had, 400 on it. The wood paneling supposedly should have had 400 on it. So when the Olympic was decommissioned and the wood paneling was taken out, it actually had 401, which should have been the number for the Titanic because it came after the Olympic.
Yeah.
And by that theory, if probably the Britannic has 403 on its stuff. I just saw a video actually today. They were going in really close on the propeller of the Titanic, and I think it's, or no, what am I thinking of? No, they were looking at where the nameplate should have been, or the name should have been. And of course, it's been underwater for a very long time. It's, things have fallen off. It's in the sand. You're not going to get it out. If you look at the word Olympic, where the heck? So it had MP, engraved in it.
Yeah.
Again, I'll link that video. Even if I didn't watch the whole video, I'm still going to have it for you guys to find easy. So you don't have to just, guess at what I watched.
Another reason for you all to go to the website.
Yeah, because if you want to see exactly what we saw and not just everything, because there's a lot on YouTube, and there's a lot of articles. Excuse me. Excuse me. I wish I had the brain power to write more stuff down, but I was just so tired.
It's okay.
To be honest, I think this has gone very well.
Yeah, but basically it's, they're just comparing, what they have is pictures, and what we have is the ship that's at because, no matter which one it is, a ship had people on it, it hit an iceberg, it sank April 15th, which is also my birthday. So that's one of those things,
This has been an incredibly coincidental
I know, right?
With the
you ever see those,
shout out and the baseball I'm holding and this and her birthday and the
you ever
Titanic
go, places with, on a vacation or, even at a truck stop that's meant more for, truckers, they have all the crazy souvenirs, and you're like, why is this in a truck stop? You ever see those things where it's what happened the year of your birth, or the decade of your birth, or whatever? I've seen more specific ones for events that happened the day of your birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yours is Titanic.
Yeah, I swear I have a keychain somewhere, because there's the books and CDs and stuff that is your whole year or the month or whatever. But I have a keychain somewhere that's just the day, and one of them is the Titanic sank.
My birthday's the first day of Sagittarius.
Good.
Mine's one of the last days of Sagittarius.
And you know what's even crazier?
I know it's not.
No, I was like, what the fuck
I just wanted to see if you catch
about?
that.
Anyways, you know what's even crazier that made Now I wanted to do this conspiracy because it's one that
Sagittarius.
Shut up. It's one that Jenna and Julian did, and I had listened to their podcast on it already, but since we decided to do this topic, I was like, let's go. I want to go back and listen to theirs specifically. And I got to this one, and I was like, that's it's so interesting. Everyone knows the Titanic.
Yeah.
The Titanic. Everyone knows the movie, or, hopefully knows it was a real ship.
Something about it, yeah.
It's a real ship, and, real people lost their lives.
Yeah.
So, that's why I decided to do this. But going to the museum, even though it was all the Titanic, it was, so much of it was the Olympic and Titanic were here at the same time. Oh, they were being built at the same time. Oh, they repainted it the same as the Titanic. Oh, all the promo pictures are actually of the Olympic and not the Titanic. And I was like, wait, what? This picture I'm looking at, that's all the Titanic, come cruise on this beautiful ship, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it also doesn't help that
it's not even the freaking Titanic, it's the Olympic.
It doesn't help that an insurance policy was taken out on the Titanic before it sank, too.
Oh, yeah, no, it already had one, but they increased it 5 days before it set sail.
Yeah.
And some of the, J.P. Morgan, he was involved with it, he canceled his trip.
Prior to
it, claiming ill health. But a couple days later, he was found freaking vacationing and having the time of his life. Some of his close friends, they canceled their trips. In particular, this one couple, they were seen a few days later on a motoring vacation. I guess that's where you just drive around a bunch of places. I guess fancy old way to say road trip. They were, it was because the wife was in ill health. But then there they are vacationing while the Titanic is out in the world, or out on the ocean. And people, I think it was also J.P. Morgan, I don't know why he had him on there in the first place, but he had 7 very valuable statues on there that he removed 1 hour before it set sail. Like, not a day, not a few, like 1 hour. He was like, wait a second, no, get those off of there. And a bunch of his close friends canceled.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they were, like, knew something, like a little something was going on. It's like, why are you increasing the insurance? Why are you canceling? Why are you taking valuables off of it? Why is it listing to the left, supposedly? Some people said, like,
science. Why
did you repaint the Olympic? Like, which ship is which? And I forget, one ship had more of a closed, like, upper deck. I cannot remember which one was which. I'm sorry.
That's okay. People can look
at it. But I think it was on the Olympic, they were making the ships look more like each other.
Yeah.
And if you go on a cruise ship or something, you expect to see a bunch of shit with the name of the cruise ship. Like, specifically. Not just the company, but, like, the name.
Yeah.
So, like, if this, like, ship is called, like, the Starfish, you would expect, like, the bar and the stage and, like, the cups and things to say Starfish, whatever. Like, the company you're with, but this is the name of this specific ship that's going on this specific route. Star. Yeah. Hardly anything at all actually said Titanic, and it was mostly just the company name, which was White Star Line.
Yeah.
And, all the lifeboats, which were not filled to capacity, like, there were, I think each one could hold, like, over 60 people or something. Mm-hmm. Some of them left with only, like, 20, 23 people on them.
There were some that there was one that had 12.
Yeah, 12. Like, and that's crazy. They were only doing women and children. Like, children.
That's the law of the sea, women and children first. That's maritime law.
I mean, I get that, but also, why weren't there more people on there? Yeah. Like, stuff them in there, put the kid across the lap, like.
Remind me to give you a little piece of trivia that was actually sort of true from the movie that I found out about after we get off mic.
Okay. Okay. I'm guessing at what it is because...
Is there a handprint on the back of the window?
No.
Yeah.
No. But it's like, why would they do all that?
Yeah.
So the thing is, they were very, they were proud of all their ships, but I guess, people are thinking that it was actually the Olympic that sank and not the Titanic, because the Olympic, it had its accident, it lost its propeller, it wasn't in the best shape, they couldn't get the insurance money, they were in debt, hence the insurance fraud clip at the beginning. They were fucked, like they weren't getting out of this. And I saw a picture, this is all like black and white, that showed the side of the Titanic, or this is if you believe the Titanic was actually the Olympic. If you're looking at this one picture, which I'll link, I say link, I'm a YouTube junkie again. It was discolored as if it had been patched and then painted in the exact same place that the Olympic was damaged. But this ship was claiming to be the Titanic. It's like, what if it's brand new? If this is its maiden voyage, it hasn't really done anything, hasn't gone anywhere.
Insurance fraud.
It's like, why does it look like it's been patched up? Why isn't the name anywhere? And the lifeboats, they were, once ships actually came in to like fucking help people, they got the people, they got the lifeboats, blah blah blah, and then later they came back and got as many bodies as they could, which was only like a few hundred compared to how many people,
How many deaths were there?
Yeah.
How many deaths were there? Do we know?
1,200?
I think it was 1,500.
1,500? 1,500, yeah.
It was 1,500.
1,000 plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000
Even
plus.
with all the lifeboats at capacity that were on there, only if they filled them all, it would only been half the passengers would have survived.
Yeah.
At least
and that's
half
the people that actually made it to the upper deck or that were already up there.
Yeah. Just mathematical, if everybody filled up the lifeboats, still half of the...
Because you got to think this all started when people were, going to bed, were already in bed. Maybe they had a little bit of drink, so they were like lounging in a chair. And then, third class people, they're on the very bottom. Some of them probably never even made it made it outside, let alone to a lifeboat.
They locked doors between classes.
Well, yeah, they did. And then when all this started going down and people started realizing it was more than just a little leak or more than just, they were realizing, like, oh, we're going down. Like, no one, went down there. And maybe even if someone did try, there was probably so many people and so many things happening, they couldn't get to them. There had to be at least a couple of kind-hearted people that maybe at least thought about the people trapped down there, because there were kids on no matter what your class was, there was kids on each level, and there was elderly and stuff on each level. There had to be some people that were trying to help others, but it's I'll have to link all the pictures because there's a lot of visual stuff to this conspiracy theory because it's a lot of comparing, like why would they do all these things if it wasn't the ship they were saying it was. Like, what are you doing, White Star Line? What are you doing, JP Morgan? Why did you cancel your trip?
For mine, we can just look up the 2019 Home Run Derby.
Yeah. Are you ready to move on? All right.
And also I can elaborate on this later, like on it.
Yeah. I did the Denver International Airport.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to do that, but then I was like, I already talked about Nazis.
I know people kind of listening to this are like, you did it over an airport?
Well, it's a weird-ass airport, okay?
What's so special about an airport? Yeah, you're right. It is weird.
It's a weird-ass airport.
Yeah.
It's huge and it's weird.
It was an airport that it was a replacement for an old airport. I can't remember the name of the old one, but it was opened in 1995. It is the longest...
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
So, audience members, what do you think? What's at the bottom of the sea? Or the ocean? Is it the Olympic or the Titanic? Cast your votes. I mean, one of them went down for sure. Just which one do you think it is? Okay.
It is the longest.
Goes down.
It is the longest publicly used runway in North America and 7th longest in the world.
You should mention the shape of the building. I'm sure you are, but
is it a penis shape?
No.
Still, that's nothing to really be like, okay, what's so weird about it? Well, there's a number of conspiracies that are surrounding it. First of all was the huge amount of money that was spent on it.
Huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge amounts.
The final cost was $4.8 billion, which was $2 billion over budget.
That's billion, not million.
$2 billion over budget?
Yeah.
Yeah, over.
Jeez.
Yeah, the airport by itself alone is over 35,000 acres. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Damn.
And it fell 16 months behind. It's like, why?
There's towns smaller than that, probably.
I have a picture I'm going to show you. The airport's runway looks like a swastika.
Oh, God, that was...
Oh, it's okay.
I didn't know your phone was there.
Can you see it?
Oh, it's the runway. I thought it was the building. Or is it the
runways? The buildings, too, look like circus tents.
Well...
But
let go of this. I'm trying to take it from you. Just lifting it higher.
But yeah, the airport's runway looks like a swastika. It's not typical of a runway. Usually they run parallel with one another.
Are these darker parts like the physical structure, like where the airplane would go to let people? Okay.
Yeah.
And then the darker gray part is like the runway part. I guess I could actually read it.
Some people go, it sort of looks like a pinwheel, but, the conspiracy theorists say it looks like a swastika. Yeah, well, that's Bradley.
I mean, it doesn't not look like that.
Yeah. See, they said that the runways were designed that way so they can be used simultaneously no matter what the weather condition. So none of them overlap.
They could have picked a better shape.
They could have.
They could have picked a better shape.
It's not identical, but
it's not
there are
like
similarities.
Yeah,
sure.
well, it's like I said at the beginning. The whole.
What about an actual picture? Is there an aerial view of the actual?
I don't know. I didn't look that up.
Failure. Because that's like a flat.
Yeah.
Outline thing.
When they opened it, they had a dedication stone which had a time capsule underneath it. The dedication stone has imagery from the Masonic Lodge. Freemasons, can you see that?
Yep, that little...
Yeah, and the little dedications from triangle. Two of the worshipful masters that were...
Yeah.
Let
me see again.
Yeah.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't just put that symbol on things just because you think it looks neat. Like, it means something.
Exactly.
Like, that shit means something.
Well, here's the weirdest thing, though, okay? Underneath the symbol, I know it's hard to read, but...
Like, it's in stone. It's engraved in stone.
It says, New World Airport Commission is credited with helping fund the airport. What does that sound like?
New World Order.
Damn straight. Officials said that's a commission for the New World Airport, but yeah, it sounds like New World Order, not to be confused with the wrestling group New World Order.
I considered this one too, so I read up some on it, and it's
since really Freemasonry,
that New World Order for life.
Oh, there's a time capsule at least till 2094.
2094.
Yeah,
you think they put a Twinkie in there?
Maybe it'll last. I mean, it's just
guessing it's not a ham sandwich.
No, it's just weird because Freemasonry is they don't consider themselves a secret society. They consider themselves a society with secrets.
Yeah, the stuff they do is secret.
I am a former member of Freemasonry. I was actually a Freemason along with my father for a while.
It's pretty cool. You got a ring and an apron.
Yeah, a ring and apron.
Not a fancy one, but...
But I, as I told Kat once before, I just like them, I take my oath seriously, and I still took an oath to keep all those secrets. So...
if it was a little less, sexist and racist, you'd probably still be in it. That'd be cool.
I'll have to cut that out.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Some people think that there's a mysterious network of underground bunkers beneath the airport.
Yeah.
That's mostly true. There's a series of tunnels underneath the airport.
Many beds.
Yeah. But it was built... It was actually built... No, they actually built those tunnels to be a part of the underground railway system that they had for the airport because it's so huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there people, like witnesses, saying that there's actually beds down there?
Yeah, they considered a post-apocalyptic fallout shelter. Where the rich elite and the Bilderbergs and all them stuff will go and hang out at when the world goes to crap.
Talk about the murals.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah,
there are murals and all sorts of crazy architecture and imagery in all over the airport. I have good pictures of those.
When you go to a big enough airport that, there's art and little statues and things.
Yeah.
So it's not just blank and boring. It's something to look at when you're tired and it's 2 a.m. and you're running to your next flight and you're not going to make it.
Yeah, there you go.
Might as well just stop and get some wine.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of them here. There's one called In Peace with Harmony in Nature. It's meant to address the destruction of the environment. However, look how creepy that looks. I will put these pictures up.
Let me see.
These are for public use because it's an airport.
And it's very colorful, but there's like a buffalo man and a bird and a box. Yeah, that's just weird shit. That doesn't even make sense. It's weird.
This next one is also about, it talks about bio-warfare. There it is. Apocalyptic bio-warfare. Look at the bottom. Isn't that creepy?
Oh shit!
Yeah, it looks like an SS soldier in a gas mask.
Oh yeah, I saw this one. Yeah, that's like what is that? Looks like he has a and he's holding a freaking gun. Like what?
And then in one of them,
it's so weird. The bright colors are supposed to be like, oh, happy, like, woo, look at this. But then there's like weird one of
them, here's a close up of just a scary Nazi soldier.
It's just a straight up Nazi soldier. Crazy. I've looked at these, but it's been a while.
Yeah. And there's a quote from a child who died in Auschwitz, painted on a little scroll.
Like what? Like it's just. It's not even It's not even a human face. Like he's got a gas mask on, and it's an angry looking one.
There are gargoyles everywhere.
Isn't there one? You might mention it. Isn't there
inside, one all over on the inside?
Like statues or paintings?
Statues hanging on the wall.
Gargoyles. This isn't like Paris. Like, why are there gargoyles?
Look at this.
Let me see. Yeah, that's so... he's weird and creepy. I don't like him. Look, wait.
No. The creepiest is...
Okay, wait. It looks like he's in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Why is he coming out of a suitcase?
The creepiest is actually the statue of a blue horse called, which people call Blucifer.
Oh, yeah.
He's very anatomically correct, and he looks evil as hell.
So fucking... It's wrong. Aren't there, hasn't, bad shit happened around him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
people believe that horse actually represents death in the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Like a curse.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
The creepiest part is that it says the statue's artist was actually killed by the statue before the statue had been completed. A piece of the statue fell on him and severed an artery in his leg.
The eyes. If the eyes weren't so boring into your soul, they're pale and weird, and he's so weird. He's not. Even if it was an actual horse color, like brown or pinto or
I better not have bad shit happen to me after looking at that.
You have to actually be around it. Isn't there a mural where there's dead children or something?
Yes, there is.
Were you going to mention that next? But.
Yeah. Which is
Lucifer.
Maybe
he's cursing people because they're calling him Lucifer.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. This was the one with the dead kids. That was the first one I showed you. I'm sorry. Yeah. The kids in coffins.
Wait, let me see.
Yeah.
Wait, you already showed us?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I picked the wrong one. I was flipping through them fast.
Where? Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't. Sorry. There was so much to look at. I didn't even. Hold on, I'm looking. Jesus. Oh yeah, it's a black girl, an Indian, Native American, and then a white, a little white girl. She looks like Dutch or something. Yeah, and then there's also a dead leopard and a turtle and a penguin in a box.
Yeah, the other one was the next one over. I went too far. It was this one. This was the one that's supposed to show the horrors of the environment.
Yeah. That's okay. It's
destroying the world.
There's a lot in the picture.
Yeah, and here's the one that I find most troubling. It's not a picture. There was actually a claim in 2007. It's called the Shattered Windshields Incident. You heard of that? 14 commercial aircraft spontaneously shattered windshields as the presumed result of an EMP.
Oh yeah, EMPs. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a very interesting thing. I would love to visit the place sometime.
I don't want to go there. It's creepy as hell. I don't want Lucifer killing me.
Cat's worried about Lucifer, and Sir Bradley's worried about evil coming after him tonight.
No, but it's just some
who
of the
would
weirdest...
decide to design it that way? With first of all the runways, and then the murals, and then the statues, and
it's so weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It does not feel like an airport when you're in there.
Yeah. Well, isn't the theory that...
Have you been there?
No. Just the pictures, and people have taken video.
I've only been there.
Ooh, I want to watch some videos tonight.
I've only been to one airport.
I creep myself out before bed.
And that wasn't... That's within the last 6 months,
So we've gone from lighthearted to tragic.
It's not scammy.
To creepy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But isn't the theory that it's the...
So it just went downhill.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, the New World Order, that's a whole thing by itself. Yeah. Isn't the theory that this place is their headquarters?
Yeah.
Or where they
That's why all those bunkers are
where they want to put... Isn't the theory also kind of pertaining towards they want to try to create their perfect versions of humans, and that's why there's
they're taking
and that's why there's supposedly all those beds underneath.
It's like they're saying they're taking the ideals of the Third Reich.
They want to breed their
breeding the perfect humans,
breeding the perfect in and the not so perfect out.
I've not got a fucking invitation.
Me either.
I think they're looking.
What's their problem?
I think they're looking for.
Well,
blondes.
Obviously they haven't listened to this podcast. We'll be invited immediately.
Yeah.
No, they're just going to send us our own Lucifer that's going to kill us in our sleep.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you think they have freaking,
the eyes on it get me.
Well, yeah. Okay, but listen, they, airports, bigger ones, not little ones, but they'll have, souvenirs and stuff geared towards whatever big attraction is near them, or... of the airport itself, or if there's something really cool there, like a statue or something, they'll have miniatures of it or keychains. Do you think there's like freaking keychains or miniatures of any of that art, like the gargoyles or the horse or anything?
I don't know.
Like, could we order a freaking Lucifer keychain and like hang it in here?
If you have
stare at us.
We'll either take one or a photo of. Just email it to us.
Yeah, just send us that'd be like on Twitter or whatever. Like send it to us.
Like, if you send it to us, we will post a picture of it.
Or if you go there, you don't have to buy it, but like take a picture of the gift. Like if there's, I assume they have to sell magazines and snacks and stuff. If there's keychains and it's not just like keychain of like the state or something, but something like a gargoyle, like that one sitting in the freaking suitcase.
Yeah.
If there's a little miniature like paperweight of him, like take a freaking picture of it. And send it to us.
Like those 3D cards that you open up.
Open up, and it's like the Nazi soldier, like Happy Holidays from the Denver airport.
Well, I think we've covered quite a bit of ground. I just thought of that because
I was like, what if there's a freaking like little statue of that freaking horse? And they're selling it for like $10.
This is one of my personal favorite conspiracy theories because I listen to all the crazies out there, and I already don't believe half what the government puts out there because it would be the government if you could trust it.
Lizard people.
That's correct.
Yes.
They're all just wearing lizard suits.
Yeah, see, I don't believe that. I don't believe in flat Earth. I don't believe in hollow Earth.
The Hollow Earth is fun to read about. Flat Earth is stupid, but Hollow Earth is interesting.
I can't say I don't believe, but I don't.
There's also
It's plausible about the Anunnaki because we just don't.
We weren't there. What?
No, it's just I was going to say the same thing as I'm just.
I think I watched like a whole video and stuff on them. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much the whole first season of on the History Channel,
Ancient
Aliens. So
hell yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Giorgio Tsoukalos
with the hair.
Yeah,
my guy.
I like the picture of him standing.
Jenna Marbles' favorite show.
I like the picture of him standing next to David Duchovny, who played Fox Mulder from the X-Files. Yeah. Aliens. All right, I think we've gilded the lily quite long enough on this.
It's like he knows he's a meme at this point, so he just goes with it.
There's just
and his hair is always kind of like that.
There's just so much out there, conspiracy theories, because we live in weird times. There's going to be, people are going to look for stuff that may or may not be there.
Well, that's why there's like conspiracies about. There's like silly conspiracies that like, oh, that's so ridiculous, it can't be. But then there's ones that are like, why is there a blue horse statue? Why is there a gargoyle? Like, why did they repaint the Olympic? Like, what's going on?
Why did the government drug the? Look, the government even poisoned alcohol during Prohibition.
Yeah,
that's true. That's been proven. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the poison is worse than the alcohol.
This is what makes the conspiracy theorist, I call them nuts. I did air quotes. Have more ground to stand on when they're believing some of this stuff.
We've used a lot of air quotes this episode.
Yeah, because there's actually conspiracy theories that have been proven true.
Yep.
All right. I think we've gone far enough.
So we're going to ask the listeners, what are your favorite conspiracies? Like, are there any you hardcore believe? Are there any just silly, fun ones that you just ran across one day and was like, oh, that's kind of funny, and it amused you for 5 minutes.
And if there's one that we haven't heard about, tell us about it.
Are you also like doing research on it for a podcast or a video?
We'll read about it. Like, we'll read your email on Mike.
Did we? Yeah. And when we do especially me, because I did a bunch of like websites and YouTube videos. Like if by chance anyone that wrote or did any of the videos that I'm gonna send to Matt that he's going to put in the description, like I'll give you a shout out on the next one if it's your content and you're like, absolutely. Hey, I did that, I put that together, I'll be like, oh hey.
Yeah, but the t-shirt's only for the first person to give us a comment.
Well, that's a totally different thing. I just mean like if I use your source and for some reason you listen to this, or you are the brother of someone who did it, or
yes, more than happy.
If you're like the mom of someone who like made the video and you're like, honey, they talked about you, or they used your video.
Honey, why the hell are these people on this weird-ass podcast talking about you?
Who the fuck are these people?
All right, well.
Why does that guy keep talking about his long penis?
Yeah.
That's not this podcast. Anyway, once again, if you would like to reach us, You can get us at our email, deadpanbsf@gmail.com.
Send us an email about your favorite creepy things.
Yeah, something. Anything.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah.
American Pie.
If you have any recommendations for future episodes.
Is very horrific.
Yeah.
If there's anything you guys want us to talk about, shush.
Not
even. What? Okay, shush. We're not talking. I was trying to.
Oh, horror.
If there's any subjects y'all want us to talk about really, really bad, and we haven't even mentioned it yet, just tell us.
All right. DeadpanBSF@gmail.com, DeadpanStudio18@gmail.com, Deadpan-Studio.com, at DeadpanStudio18 on Facebook and Twitter. We stream on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, as well as Podbean, the app, and the website, deadpanstudio.podbean.com.
Send us a message about something.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us and downloading us, streaming us. Thank you, Sir Bradley and Kath, for joining us. I'm thanking myself.
Thanks to Wikipedia for existing.
Yeah. And with that is the close of another episode of BSF. I'm one of your hosts, Matt.
Sir Bradley.
No, I'm Kat.
All right. We'll check you all later. See you later, guys.
Bye.